The Galactic Council had always considered humanity a curiosity, a species that had clawed its way from tribal warfare to interstellar travel in a mere 10,000 years. They were young, impulsive, and oddly sentimental about the strangest things. But they followed the rules. They signed the treaties. They played the game of galactic diplomacy with surprising grace for such a volatile species. Ambassador Chen stood before the Council's Grand Assembly, her hands trembling as she held the data crystal. The holographic display flickered to life, showing images that made even the most battle-hardened species look away. The colony of New Shanghai, 3 million souls, men, women, children, gone. The Krill Dominion had deemed the human colony an infestation in sovereign space. Their plasma bombardment had been methodical, efficient, and complete. They had even broadcasted across their networks as a warning to other species who might question their territorial claims. "We demand justice," Chen said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We demand accountability under the Galactic Convention." High Arbiter Velshan, a towering crystalline being whose species had mediated conflicts for millennia, regarded the human with what might have been pity. Ambassador Chen, the Krill Dominion, maintains that New Shanghai violated the buffer zone agreement of "They murdered children," Chen interrupted, her voice cracking. 3 million people, families, scientists, artists, gone in 6 hours. The Arbiter's facets dimmed. The Council sympathizes with humanity's loss. However, the legal complexities of the buffer zone. Legal complexities? Chen's laugh was hollow. "You're going to hide behind paperwork while genocide goes unpunished?" The Council proposes a formal inquiry that should conclude within 15 standard cycles. Economic sanctions may be considered. Chen placed both hands on the podium, her knuckles white. 15 cycles. Sanctions. That's your response to the systematic extermination of an entire colony? Ambassador, you must understand the delicate balance of no. Chen straightened, and something in her posture made the ancient arbiter pause. You need to understand something about humans. For the last 100 years, we've been on our best behavior. We've followed your rules, your protocols, your endless diplomatic dances. We did it because we wanted to be part of this community. We wanted to prove we weren't the savage primitives you thought we were. She tapped the data crystal and new images appeared. Historical footage from Earth. Trenches filled with bodies. Mushroom clouds rising over cities. Mass graves discovered decades after wars ended. The Council members shifted uncomfortably. "This is what we are," Chen continued. "This is what we've always been. We're not naturally peaceful. Peace is something we choose, something we work toward every single day. It's a thin veneer over something much darker, much older. Ambassador, threatening the Council will only—" "I'm not threatening anyone," Chen said quietly. "I'm explaining. The Krill think they've won something. They think they've shown strength by slaughtering defenseless civilians. They don't understand what they've actually done." She leaned forward. "They've reminded us what we are underneath all the civilization. Humanity has been trying so hard to be better, to evolve beyond our violent past. But the Krill just proved that in this galaxy, being civilized only makes you a target." Chen straightened and removed her council insignia, placing it on the podium with a soft click that somehow echoed through the vast chamber. "Earth hereby withdraws from all Galactic Council treaties and conventions. Consider this humanity's. Notice that we will no longer be bound by laws that protect our murderers. You cannot simply—" the Arbiter began. "We already have." Chen's smile was terrible to behold. "The vote passed unanimously in Earth's parliament 3 hours ago. Our fleets are already mobilizing. We're not asking for permission anymore. This is madness. You would risk war with the Krill Dominion? They command 70 star systems." "We commanded 0 star systems when we fought ourselves for scraps of territory on one small planet," Chen replied. "We nearly destroyed ourselves a dozen times. We created weapons that could end all life on our world, and we came so close to using them, so very close." She gathered her materials, preparing to leave. "You wanted us civilized. You wanted us to be like you. Rational, measured, diplomatic. We tried. We really did. But you've shown us that civilization is just a luxury predator's grant to prey. The Krill made their choice when they murdered New Shanghai. Now we've made ours. And what choice is that? Velshan asked, though something in the being's crystalline structure suggested it already knew the answer. Chen paused at the chamber door, looking back at the gathered species who had watched human colonists burn and offered nothing but bureaucracy in return. Now we stop being civilized. The door sealed behind her with a finality that felt like a line being crossed. The council sat in shocked silence, unsure if humanity's threat was real or the desperate posturing of a grieving species. 6 weeks later, they had their answer. The Krill homeworld's defense grid went dark in 14 minutes. Their command fleet was debris within an hour. Humanity didn't ask for surrender. They didn't negotiate. They didn't follow the rules of engagement that governed galactic warfare for 10,000 years. They fought like humans had always fought when pushed too far, without mercy, without restraint, without stopping. The Council finally understood the warning Chen had tried to give them. Humanity's civilization wasn't weakness overcome. It was monstrosity contained, and the Krill had broken the container. By the time the Dominion fell, the galaxy had learned what Earth had always known. The most dangerous thing about humanity wasn't their capacity for violence. It was their capacity to choose peace despite it, and what happens when that choice is taken away.